What is up, guys? Welcome back. Today we are going to do things a little differently. We are going to go over a tech mod. One of that is called Draconic Evolution by Brandon3055, as well as the contributors Great Orator and Cover 1624. Before we go ahead and get started here, I want to go ahead and let you guys know that this is definitely an endgame mod. This is a mod that you're going to want to play around with when you've already defeated the Wither or already defeated the Ender Dragon. It gives you a bunch of stuff that you can only get if you've defeated the Ender Dragon or the Wither multiple times. And I'll go ahead and let you guys know a little bit about that in a little bit here. Okay, so when you go ahead and download this mod, and let's say you've been playing for a while and you want to go ahead and try out the things that are in this mod, the first things you're going to want to do is look for something like this, the Draconium ore. This can be found in the overworld, the nether, and the end. So once you find one of these, they are actually hidden way deep within the world, between layers maybe 1 through 5 or 1 through 10, something like that. You'll be able to find these. You go ahead and mine them. Once you mine them, you'll get something like this, which is Draconic dust. Draconic dust can be then put into a furnace and smelted down into Draconic ingots. These are the main source of what you're going to start out with when you first start making stuff with the mod. Draconium dust can be crafted with a lot of other things in order to create some pretty cool items. Some items that we'll go ahead and get into in a little bit here, but something you're probably going to want to get right away is the Draconic Evolution information tablet. This is the one information tablet that you're going to need for this entire mod. It will give you directions on everything you need to know that's within this mod. Or you could go ahead and stick around and let me explain everything that's within this mod, or at least most of everything that's in this mod. I'll try my best. So let's go ahead and go over some of the tools that come with this mod. You get a regular sword of the Wyvern, which is just a tad better than the diamond sword. The diamond sword being at 1.6 1.8 attack speed and 15 attack damage for the sword of the Wyvern. Though as we go ahead and go into the crafting recipe, it doesn't look too bad because it just needs 2 draconium ingots, a diamond sword, a Wyvern energy core, and a Wyvern core. But when you go ahead and look at the Wyvern energy core, you're going to need a lot of redstone and even more draconium ingots, and you're going to need a draconic core, which is created with a diamond, some gold, and draconium. There's one other thing that creates this is the Wyvern core. When you go ahead and create this, you are going to need a nether star. So you are going to have to go and kill the Wither. This is the usual thing with making most of the weapons in this mod. Like I said, this is an endgame mod, so a lot of the stuff you're going to be making is pretty expensive in terms of materials you need. To go ahead and create your first set of armor in this mod, you're going to need to go ahead and create it just kind of how you created the new weapons. It's going to be a similar recipe with similar items used, as well as the nether star, just like the tools and weapons. The first set of armor you're going to be able to get in this mod is the Wyvern set. The Wyvern helm, the Wyvern boots, Wyvern chestplate, and the Wyvern leggings. All of these has the same attributes as a diamond armor. So what would you think is the difference between this and diamond, going through all the trouble of killing the Wither 4 times to get a full set? Well, when I start putting this on, you'll notice down in the bottom left corner of the screen, I have a bar with a shield. That is actually my own personal shield. So now when enemies attack me, I don't have to worry about losing hearts, or I don't have to worry about losing saturation. I just have to look and see how my shield is doing, because now my shield will protect me. To go ahead and show this off, I went ahead and switched over to survival mode, and I'll go ahead and let the guys attack me a little bit. And if you can hear that, that's the sound of my shield being used, so that it's protecting me. And you see that EN? That is a percentage of how much my shield can take before it powers back up. It has a recharge rate. That's basically what it is, the recharge rate of my shield. And if you see the other numbers, the RF and then a bunch of other numbers, all of these weapons and armors are able to store RF within inside them, so you can charge them up. If it has no RF, then your shield is not going to work anymore. You can see that the energy shield is taking a good amount of damage between these 2 spiders, and I'm not taking any damage whatsoever. But once these 2 zombies get over here, I'm probably going to have a hard time, and my shield's going to start breaking down on me. The other cool thing about these new weapons and armor is that you can actually upgrade them in the new upgrading system that comes with this mod. I'll show you that in a little bit, but to go ahead and show you a little bit what this is about, I went ahead and pressed my special key to get into this GUI. You'll be able to change that whatever you want in your controls. Draconic Evolution under these options, change tool config profile. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Place item in the world, self-explanatory, and tool and armor config GUI. This is what I pressed in order to get to that menu. So if I wanted to go and go back in there, I can go into each and every single piece of armor and item I've created and go ahead and just click on it you can see the different kinds of upgrades that these items can have. You can have your pickaxe mine a little bit faster. You can also have a dig AoE, which allows you to dig in a multi-area instead of a 1x1. You could have maybe a 3x3 or a 5x5. As for the armor has different kinds of abilities and upgrades that they can have themselves. As for the boots, you have a jump modifier, which allows you to modify the jump, which is pretty self-explanatory because it just lets you modify how high you can jump. And you can also have a boost on sprint, which if you wanted to go ahead and just have this modifier only happen when you're sprinting, you could go ahead and turn that on. So on top of these weapons and tools and armor being super powerful, they can be even more powerful by the way you use them and the way you upgrade them. And just for quick reference, if you ever wanted to go into the HUD and change things and how they are displayed, you can go ahead and do that. If you ever wanted to change the way this display is happening, the display is what happens when you hover over your new weapon or tool, and it tells you a little bit about the information that's on it and the upgrades you have on that tool. Or you can go ahead and go over here and move this around. Your shield, you can move it anywhere you want. You can have it fade out, you can have it rotate, which looks like this. So if you wanted to be up here or something, you can toggle hidden, so you can hide it completely if you never wanted to look at it, but just know that you have a shield. So there's a lot of stuff you can do in here to make sure that if you wanted to, you could go ahead and like make everything hidden as if you didn't have these things to display for you, or you can have them on all the time, completely up to you. Go ahead and move on to the fusion crafting system, the new way to craft items in this mod. It may seem a little difficult, but in all honesty, it's really not too bad, and you can get the hang of it really quickly. So here in our Draconic Evolution tablet, it's going to tell us a little about the fusion crafting system, and you have 3 different tiers. The 4th tier is a chaotic fusion, which is not really implemented into the mod yet, so you want to stick to these 3 for the time being. You have the basic fusion crafting injector, the wyvern fusion crafting injector, and the draconic fusion crafting injector. You're probably going to only start out with the basic fusion at first, because obviously, like everything else in this mod, it is pretty expensive to make. Okay, so first of all, you're going to go ahead and start with this basic fusion crafting injector, which in all honesty is not too bad compared to the other ones to make. So you go ahead and get some diamonds, some stone, a block of iron, and a draconic core, which of course is made like this, and then you go ahead and craft it and place them down in an area just like this around a fusion crafting core, which a fusion crafting core is created just like this with some diamonds, some lapis blocks, and a draconic core. In all honesty, you could place these pretty much anywhere around the fusion crafting core as long as you get them in this kind of area like this. Well, I'm not doing too well at that, but in all honesty, this is probably your best bet when doing the fusion crafting system. So as I showed before, these items have different attributes that you can go ahead and upgrade, like the dig AoE I showed earlier, and the upgrade key you can use to go ahead and upgrade that. So let's go ahead and get into this new upgrading system for your tools. If I wanted to go ahead and upgrade my pickaxe for the dig AoE, this is the basic tier. So you have tiers for upgrading for the fusion system and the tools and armor themselves, and you cannot skip them. You have to go in order from basic to wyvern to draconic and chaotic. So the basic one isn't too bad with some golden apples, some diamonds, eyes of ender, draconic core, and that upgrade key. If I wanted to go in the wyvern, you need 2 nether stars, you need 2 draconic cores, 2 emeralds, a wyvern core, which means you actually need 3 nether stars, and your upgrade key. So let's just go ahead and do the basic one. We'll go ahead and upgrade the AoE on this. And what was that? Again, 2 apples, 2 diamond, 2 eyes of ender, and we'll go ahead and place these in here just like this. We'll grab our pickaxe, throw our pickaxe in there if we can get that right, up in there. Okay, so we needed 2 apples. We needed 2 eyes of ender. I don't know why I was doing that. Our draconic core, I believe we need our. So let's place our 2 diamonds in there, like if I could place it right. So we went ahead, we should have everything we need. And we know we have everything we need because we have this little start button down here. And just to let you guys know, as you put the items up here, it doesn't really matter what order you put them in, as long as you have all the items. As long as you have all the items, you can put them in any order you want on those little boards, and you could go ahead and see that you would get a little start. Now you're gonna need some kind of energy to power these things. Over here, I have a little generator with some basic energy relay crystals. I'll go ahead and let you know a little bit about these in a little bit. All you need to know is they relay RF energy to the machines you want. So I have this machine making some RF energy, which is relaying to the crystals, which is relaying to my Draconic fusion crafting injectors. For some reason, Wayla is saying that they're basic fusion crafting injectors, but these are orange. These are the Draconic ones. And as I said before, just like with the items, they have 3 tiers. They go from basic to wyvern to Draconic. So if you wanted to do basic upgrades, you'd go ahead and need the basic fusion crafting injectors. If you wanted to do the Wyvern, you would need the Wyvern. And if you want to do Draconic, you would need to get the Draconic fusion crafting injectors. The cool thing is, if you already have the Draconic fusion crafting injectors set up, you can do the basic upgrade and not have to have 3 different sets. So that'll make your life a little bit easier, because now you know that if you have all this set, you can do from basic to Wyvern to Draconic, because you already have the Draconic fusion crafting injector. So now let's go ahead and start this guy up. We'll go ahead and hit start, and it'll start charging. It'll do these little particle effects, and that'll let you know that this thing has enough power to go ahead and start fusing those items in with your pickaxe, sword, or whatever it might be that you are upgrading. And it is done. I thought that the animations in this mod are awesome, and the cool thing is over here, as you see, you get to keep your keys. So if you wanted to use it for other items to upgrade their dig AoE or attack AoE, actually I think there's a separate one for attack AoE upgrade, but if you wanted to keep it to use it on other items, you can. So we'll go ahead and take that out now. And if I was in survival instead of creative, I'd be able to dig in a 3x3 area. If I went ahead and changed it by going into here, dig AoE, and changing from 1x1 to 3x3. This was the upgrade that was applied, so now I can do 3x3 areas. Alright guys, we're gonna go ahead and take a break here, and we'll go ahead and continue in the next episode. I'll go over the storage system of this mod, the translocator, all the cool little nifty items you can use, like the manipulation of time. Like this thing, this is the storage to all the RF you would ever need. Literally, this thing stores billions and trillions of RF power. This is what we're going to go over and how to make it in the next episode, as well as some of the cool items down there and the translocator portals. These are my favorite. But anyways, thanks again guys for tuning in and checking out this cool mod. I sort of needed to break it up here guys, but we'll go ahead and continue in the next episode. And as always, please subscribe to my channel to get content like this every weekend. Thanks again guys. See you in the next one. Peace.